Hello, vinyl community. How you doing? It's Bill with the Vinylverse. I'm here to do the 2026 vinyl tag. This year, the questions or prompts came courtesy of David Atkinson. David, thanks so much for getting the ball rolling on the 2026 vinyl tag. I've gone through all the questions and have my answers and my records here to show. The vinyl tag I think it's a great thing for the community to see how everyone who decides to do it, see how their answers compare or are different to your own, and to learn more about the person who is responding to the vinyl tag. It's also a great entry point into making videos in the vinyl community. That's pretty much how I started a long time ago. This is, I think this is the 7th vinyl tag that I've answered, and I didn't do it last year, so that means I'm in my 8th year of doing this. So yeah, 20 questions for the 2026 vinyl tag. Question number 13 I swapped out with one of my own. It was just a question. I didn't want to go down that road, so got a question of my own for number 13. And all right, let's get started with the questions. One of these things with the vinyl tag always happens is you tend to answer early. So I do with some of my favorites, because that's the way the questions are framed. So you'll probably see some familiar albums that I've shown before here. That's okay. So number 1 is, I'm going to combine number 1 and 2. It's because they correlate together. It's show your best vinyl / other format musical purchase of 2025 for number 1, and number 2 is share your favorite live musical experience of 2025. Okay, so it's the 50th anniversary of The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway, which is my favorite album of all time, from my favorite band of all time. I was actually on the fence of picking this up, but decided to get it. So 50th anniversary, 4 CDs, 1 Blu-ray. I went the CD and Blu-ray route, not the vinyl. I think this is better for myself, so I didn't get the vinyl of this. So that answers number 1. But number 2, share your favorite live musical experience of 2025. So I didn't see any live music in 2025. At least I don't think I did. But the promotion for this release brought together Peter Gabriel, Tony Banks, Steve Hackett, and Mike Rutherford together, and they did some interviews and stuff together. So it was a real treat seeing the 4 of them together. Phil Collins has been battling lots of different health issues, so he wasn't a part of any of that, understandably. But seeing those 4 together and seeing the interviews and the guys sitting there together was just a real treat for me, and I loved it. So that was my favorite live musical experience of 2025. Okay, number 3. Let's see. Your vinyl record collection in 10 years' time. Is it bigger, smaller, or about the same? Explain why. I am going to say that my record collection will be smaller, if I even have a record collection at that point. So the space I'm in here is pretty small, and within 10 years, I foresee this room becoming my son's bedroom. I won't get into the story about that, but just for reasons, I think he'll end up being in this room. So I won't really have a space for records. So maybe I'll have a smaller collection and be able to set up somewhere else. But I think undoubtedly my collection will be smaller. But I'm not going to slow down picking up records for the time being. All right, so number 4, you move into a new home. You play one record turned up to 11 to announce your arrival. What is it and why? Well, one of my favorite bands is Creedence Clearwater Revival, and Green River is one of my favorite albums by them. This is just a great record, and it's a good one to announce my arrival. So songs like Green River, Bad Moon Rising, Lodi, Tombstone Shadow, The Nighttime is the Right Time. That's what I'm going to play when I move into a new home. Okay, number 5, show 2 albums, one each for your favorite male and female singers, and why these two. Okay. So, my favorite singer, male singer, is Peter Gabriel. So Genesis relation there. He was the singer for Genesis in the early to mid 70s. But his solo work, he's just always been my favorite singer. I think he doesn't have the most polished voice, has a very kind of a rawer voice, but to me, I find his singing beautiful, and he's just my favorite singer. So that he will be the male singer for that answer. And then female is Jewel. So Jewel, especially her first 4 albums, to me, they're pretty special albums, and this is her second album, Spirit. She is another unique singer. I think she's got a beautiful voice, and she can really belt it if she wants to. But especially in those early albums, I particularly like her singing. Not so much these days. She's a little too more embellishing, I guess. I wish she would go back to more just like her raw singing and her talent. But yeah, my favorite female singer, especially from her earlier days in those first 4 albums. Moving along here, number 6. It says, we like to have fun here. Show your top 3 soul dance records. Okay. I don't have a very big soul collection, but I pulled 3 albums that I think you can definitely dance to and boogie down to. First being The Best of Sam and Dave. Hold On, I'm Coming Home. Soul Man, of course. Yeah, so great soul record there. Another one, which was kind of a new discovery for me this past year. This is Dennis Coffey, Finger Pickin' Good. Yeah, really good, funky, soulful record. Really enjoyed this one. And then last, we have The Temptations with a lot of soul. Definitely a danceable record by The Temptations. Of course, it's got I Know I'm Losing You. Just really, really great album. You can definitely dance to that one. All right. A Real Stinker. Nominate a track you hate from an album you love, and why the hate. So I'm a big fan of the Monkees, and their second album, More of the Monkees, has one of the worst songs ever called The Day We Fallen in Love. It's kind of a spoken word piece by Davy Jones. Just not a fan of that at all. Never liked it. So that'll be my answer. The Monkees, The Day We Fall in Love, off of More of the Monkees. Okay, if you had to pick only one album from each of the last 6 decades, what would they be? 1960s, 1970s, 1980s, 1990s, 2000s, and 2010s. All right. I'm just going to go through these real fast. 1960s, The Beatles' White Album, of course. Most days, that's my favorite Beatles record. 1970s, already been mentioned here, but Genesis, The Lambs Lies Down on Broadway. 1980s, this was a little harder, but the B-52s, Wild Planet. 1990s, just mentioned her, but Jewel, her debut album, Pieces of You. One of my favorite, all-time favorite albums. 2000, the 2000s. Here's Marillion and their album Marbles. Great one. 2010s. We have Steven Wilson and The Raven That Refused to Sing. And Other Stories. Another just great record. Another favorite of mine. Okay, we're up to number 9. It says you get the opportunity to spend a day alone with one artist, walking a mountain trail, the beach, or hanging out in the city. Who would that be? Who would be that artist? And number 10 is what would your must ask question be? So I already mentioned him, Peter Gabriel. I just find him so unique and fascinating, and I would love to spend the day with him doing those activities. And must ask question, I would just, I guess, ask if he would do anything differently, maybe. Yeah, I would ask him, is there anything you would do differently from throughout your career? Even going back to Genesis days, is there anything you would do differently? Number 11, show a record that contains a track that always brings a tear to the eye, or are you a heartless bastard? So yes, going from the one and the closing track, Awaken. It's not that it's a real like tearjerker of a song, but the emotion and power from the music just, it's almost, sometimes it's just like a spiritual experience, and that's how I'm going to answer that one. Number 12, show 3 albums from artists you've tried to love, but you're questioning why you bother. Well, I'll just do one. I have a tough relationship with Vandergraaf Generator. I've tried, and I have to be honest, it's mostly because of Peter Hamill's vocals. The music I really do enjoy, but the vocals just get in the way too much for my liking. Not that I think he is a bad vocalist, but he does have this dramatic way about singing, and yeah, Vandergraaf Generator. I'm still trying though. I still listen to them. Okay, now number 13, I said I was swapping out the question that David provided. Just didn't want to go down that road. So my question is prompt is going to be show an album from an artist who we lost in 2025. So sadly, we lost Jamie Muir. He was in King Crimson for this record, Lark's Tongues and Aspic, percussionist. So that was really sad to hear. So Jamie Muir, rest in peace. Okay, number 14. If you had to sell all your vinyl along with your record player, show the one album you would hold on to as a keepsake. Well, if I had to sell everything, I probably wouldn't keep anything. But to answer the question, I am deciding to keep the very first record that was completely mine, and that's the Beatles' A Hard Day's Night soundtrack. The Beatles were definitely my first love in music, and this was my very first record that was completely my own. We had other records that, was for the family, or my brothers would have them. But this one was mine, and I played it to death. This copy here is most likely unplayable. So I do have a newer reissue of this, but I'd probably hold on to this one. Just the sentimental reason. All right, where are we? Okay, number 15. I modified this question slightly. The question was discuss your VC YouTube highlight of 2025. If that's a video, link to it, but it could be a meetup or some event. So I'm just taking out the word VC, I guess. So discuss your YouTube highlight of 2025. So the highlight for me, not really a highlight, more like a low light. So around Halloween time, for 2 years going, I did the 13 days of Halloween. And what I would do is rip something of vinyl, and either it was a full album like a soundtrack or some sort of novelty record or a 7-inch single related to Halloween or monsters or something fun like that. And for 13 days leading up to Halloween, I would put that on my channel. And this year I did the 7-inch record of The Shining by Wendy Carlos. And I got a copyright strike. So that video was taken down. And I got a copyright strike. So I think I'm down to like 3 or 4 days before that expires. But I'm going to say that's the highlight of my YouTube from 2025. All right. Number 16. Name your favorite musical biopic if you have one. This was tough. I'm not, I don't know. I never thought about this, I guess. But one that jumped into my head was Love and Mercy, the movie about Brian Wilson. Probably about good 10 to 12 years ago now. I'm not exactly sure what year it came out. That was pretty good. I enjoyed that. Yeah. Brian Wilson, another artist that we lost in 2025. So that'll be my answer for that one. Okay, number 17. Give 3 reasons why jazz matters and show a favorite album. Well, 3 reasons why jazz matters. Here are 3 highly influential jazz musicians and why jazz matters. John Coltrane. This is the album that made me love jazz. This is Blue Train. Miles Davis, In a Silent Way. Highly influential. And last but not least, Herbie Hancock and Headhunters. Highly, highly influential. Jazz matters. Okay, number 18. You're an innocent man or woman on death row. They give you one last musical request. What do you ask for? Okay. I have to ask to listen to Supper's Ready one last time. The Genesis masterpiece, 20 plus minutes long, on side 2 of this album, Foxtrot. That is what I would request. Please. I hope I never end up having to do that. Okay, sell your favorite artist to a new listener. Show one essential album and explain why they should make time for it. All right, well, Genesis, I already mentioned, is my favorite band. They've popped up a lot in this vinyl tag. Let's see, I have some notes here. So I said Genesis has everything. Their music is melodically strong, emotional, playful, dramatic, pastoral, complex, and well-crafted and written. Each of the musicians serve the songs without being indulgent. There's odd time signatures, dynamics, and great intention to each note being played. And A Trick of the Tail has all of this and more. I love Genesis, if you didn't know. Okay, number 20. Final question. How about that? Or final prompt. So you're arranging a VC meetup in 2026. Excluding those you've already met, invite 3 people you'd most like to meet. I can't limit to just 3. There's so many people I'd love to meet. And I'm going to rattle off a handful here, more than a handful here. And to anybody that wasn't mentioned, I would, certainly love to meet you too. It's just, these are the initial batch of people / channels that I'd really love to meet. Starting with Michael P. Dawson, top of my list. Love you, Michael. Paul Baraka P. Dub, great guy. Great friend Jeff Kempen. We have a chat group where we text every single day, and I've met every person on that group except for Jeff. And I would love to meet Jeff. And I hope you find time to make some videos, Jeff. Miss you on YouTube. Of course, Mazzy. Who wouldn't love to meet Mazzy? Alan, Static Traveler. Lisa, or Liz, as we all know her. Love you, Liz. DJ Trish, of course. Lavelle Andrew. Love to meet you. Jeff at Speaker's Corner. And Edward, Proghat. Would love to meet you too. Would love to meet lots and lots of VC folks. I've had the pleasure of meeting quite a few people in the VC, and that's been a real treat. So I didn't mean to leave anybody out, but this is the list that I came up with here. So Vinyl Tag 2026 in the books. Thank you for watching. When you're done watching this Vinyl Tag, go watch another one. They're always fun, I find, to find. And let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Get some conversation going. And let's see, there's lots of different vinyl tags floating around. I'm going to try to quick film another one right now, if you care. And maybe I'll do another 1 or 2. I have a couple more that I'm eyeing. I don't know if I'll get to them. It's been hard to record lately. But I'll give it a shot. So thank you for watching and sticking with me through this vinyl tag video. And thanks for all your support. All these 8 years now, I guess, on YouTube. Really appreciate it, and appreciate you watching and commenting. Means a lot. I hope everyone is doing well. I hope everyone has a great 2026. And I will catch up with everybody soon and see you in next video. All right. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye now.